Hey, it's Elle King. Thanks for all of the questions you sent into Romeo for my Ask Anything chat. And big thanks to all the Saturday Night Online listeners for supporting me. Okay, so Brianna from Oklahoma City asks, what gave you the idea for X's and O's? I dated a couple guys, and I was writing. I was doing a writing session with my friend, and he was like, "Who have you dated this year?" And we were laughing, and we just kind of came up with the idea, and we thought it was funny, and that's how the song came out. Candace from Portland asks, "What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?" Whew, that's tough. I love cookie dough. That's my favorite. Linda from Newport asks, besides yourself, who do you find entertaining on Instagram? I think George Ezra is really funny on Instagram. Um, and yeah, a lot of my friends are pretty ridiculous. But yeah, then there's this guy named, it's a bad word, but it's F word, Jerry. I think he's really funny. I shouldn't talk about that. Britt from Boise asked, did you expect X's and O's to become a success? No. I try to go into things without any expectations. Expect nothing and hope for the best, right? So it's been a real surprise and an amazing treat that, all of this has come from it. Connor from Salt Lake City asks, what is your favorite song out right now that is not yours? My favorite song out right now is a song by Leon Bridges called Better Man. I love the whole album, but I listen to that song on repeat like an uncomfortable amount. Alyssa from New York asks, what's your go-to song you listen to when you're trying to get hype? I would have to say one of the top ones is probably Anything by Beyonce. Carrie from Pittsburgh asks, where'd you come up with the album title Love Stuff? Oh, wonderful question. I was drunk in a limo in Florida with my manager, and he said, hey, look at that sign. And it was a sex shop called Booby Trap Love Stuff. And I said, pull over. And I asked him to take a picture of me in front of this sign that said Love Stuff. And I said, I'm going to name my album that. And I did. Maria from San Antonio asked, who were your musical influences growing up? I've got 3 female heroes who are my favorite. I love Aretha Franklin, Dolly Parton, and Wanda Jackson. And you can definitely hear their influence, in a lot of my music. Lauren from Long Island asks, what's your favorite tattoo you have? My favorite tattoo that I have is this one right here. I don't know if you can see it. It says Little One, and I got that after my grandmother passed away because that's what we called her. And so when I look down and I'm playing, I feel like she's with me. Kayla from Atlanta asks, what's one item you can't go on the road without? Well, that's tricky because I'm a hoarder and a pack rat, and I basically bring everything with me, but mainly crazy hair, lashes, and glow sticks. Erica from Austin asks, what was the worst date you've ever been on? I've been on some really bad ones. Actually, no, most of them are really fun. A guy took me it started out great. He took me for fried chicken, and then we went to this cat, I don't know, place where people leave their cats in this, it's like a cat hotel, and he took me there, and I'm a dog person, so pretty weird. Terry from Fort Wayne asks, has there been a performance you've done recently that you got really nervous about? Yes, I just recently did Jimmy Kimmel, and I was really nervous because I'd been on tour, and it was the first time where my voice was a little bit hoarse, and so I was nervous, but, I tried my best, and I think I still pulled it off, but I think it's exciting to be nervous. It means you care, so it's good. Olivia from Youngstown asks, where were you when you heard your song on the radio for the first time? Well, it's kind of cheating. I was in the Sirius XM office, and I was doing an interview, and so I was there when I was in the radio station when they played it. But the first time I heard it, I was in a car, and I was in Dallas. Was I in Dallas? I think I was in Dallas, and we turned on the radio, and it came on, and I cried a little bit, but don't tell anyone. Sandy from Green Bay asks, if your current self could tell your teenage self something, what would it be? Relax, don't cut bangs, and be nicer to yourself. You're cooler than actually no, you're not as cool as you think. Grace from Dayton asks, do you have any rituals before performing on stage to warm up? Yes. I have a drink, and me and my band, we jump up and down, and we all shout, have a good time all the time. Kelly from Pasadena asks, what's your favorite song off of Love Stuff? Ooh, that's like choosing between my children. I really love a song called Song of Sorrow. I wrote it about the town where my family's from, and I wrote it on my grandparents' front porch, and it's just really special to me. Roma from London asks, if you could describe yourself using one of your songs, which would you pick? Oof. I'm not sure. I never expected to ever write a song like America's Sweetheart or have that on my album. But it's an interesting kind of my take on a pop song, but I'm really singing the truth about everything. So it's funny that, yeah, I would say America's Sweetheart really describes me pretty well. Tia from Auckland asks, who's someone you really want to collaborate with? Dolly Parton, definitely. Melissa from Washington, D.C. asks, what's the best lyric you have ever written? Ooh. I wrote a song, it's the last song on my album, called See You Again. And I don't know, I just think that it was a really, it's hard to pinpoint the one lyric. I always thought it was, the whole song's good. Every lyric I write is great. I'm just kidding, I don't know. Sarah from Houston asks, what is your songwriting process like? It's different. Sometimes I'll be emotional and I'll get this little feeling inside me. And I'll be like, I need to go find a room by myself, and I'll just kind of play an instrument and a melody will come, and I'll write a song, or I'll be co-writing, and somebody will have a good idea and we'll just go back and forth. So it's all different to, the time and the song I'm writing. Maggie from Cleveland, Ohio, asks, what is the best prank you have ever played on someone? My first headlining tour, we were in a Sprinter, which is like kind of just like a bigger van, and we were doing really long drives, and everyone was complaining, and so we got our first tour bus, and everyone in the band was around when we got the news that we were getting a tour bus, except for my guitarist. And so I was like, no one tell him, because it was like a few more days until we got it. And so we all ganged up on him and said that we hate the Sprinter so much that if we don't get a tour bus, then Simon is kicked out of the band. And so we pulled over, and we pulled next to the tour bus, and he was almost gonna cry hearing us say that stuff. And I was like, man, look at that tour bus. Go knock on that door and see if somebody will let us in. I was like, do it. And he was like, whoa, okay. And he knocked on the tour bus, and he went in, and it was our tour bus. And yeah, he almost cried. It was pretty mean. Chloe from Albany asks, are you the hero or the villain in your story? That's tricky. Which story? I think I'm the hero, definitely. I don't know what you think, but sometimes the villain. Amy from Tucson asks, what's the next single from the album? I have no idea. I'm gonna milk X's and O's for as much as I can. Ashley from London asks, what is the most rewarding thing about being an artist? There's a lot of rewarding things, I think. Definitely the self-expression that I get to live out on a day-to-day basis, and the creativity that I'm allowed to express. I love making music, and I love performing. Also, I don't ever want to work in a restaurant again, because that was awful. My first job, I worked 2 days in a burger joint, and it was really bad. So I was like, I need to be a musician. Cool. Gina from Fort Lauderdale asks, do you have any pets? If so, what are their names? Yes, I have 2 pets. Well, they're my children. I've got 2 very large dogs. One's name is Blue and the other's name is Arrow, and they are very, very, very special to me. Remy from Santa Cruz asks, who's your girl crush? Well, there's a lot, but Dolly Parton. All right, again, thanks going out to Romeo for having me on tonight to answer your Ask Anything chat questions. Thank you so much. Watch, it didn't record anything. Oh, 10:25.